Hello, everyone. Um, I also thought it'd be a good idea to review our yarn labels. So we're doing the class with Red Art Super Saver yarn just because it tends to be the cheapest, while having some good qualities as well. You want to balance. You don't want to buy the cheapest yarn. In some cases, some weird brands that are obscure or from somewhere. Red Heart, I believe it is. Um, at least made in North America. um, so Red Heart Super Saver Edition, they have all kinds of sub brands under the Red Heart label. Um, I find that as you wash this, it does get a little, quite a few times. It'll eventually soften a bit. It's super durable. This can handle just going into the wash with your clothes. It doesn't need to be delicate. Wash instructions and all that super laborious stuff that you have to do with finer yarns and materials. It's good for. They do have one that's made a baby blanket branded one that's a lot softer actually for baby blankets. But this makes good scarves, shawls, caps. I've even made teddy bears with this. Just your general throw blankets and stuff like that. So let's see. There, depending on your personal how you crochet, your nuances and your gauge, they do try to make sure you can do their gauge by following the instructions on the label. So sorry, excuse the camera; it's kind of giving some glare here. Another fun thing is that there's no dye lots. I believe that this is just from basically plastic materials that are colored already. So it's not dyed, I believe. I believe that's how that's made. Acrylic yarn. Um, so we have weight 4, which is known as a medium type weight. I believe the weights go from on a scale of 1 to 10 or something like that. You can find the tables, just Google them. Pretty simple. What else I can say about this fun stuff here? They usually give you some more instructions about washing and drying on the inside of the label. Here it tells you the yardage, 7 ounces, the weight. They always give you like a free little pattern typically. They give you the instructions here. Here it's saying it's probably in knitting instructions, unfortunately, but you eventually will learn how to just look at something and crochet it. But you can try to mimic that with crochet. Okay, yeah, there it goes. Made in Canada with imported fibers. So they're this yarn brand, Coates and Clark, is I believe a Canadian company, and it does have a U.S. headquarters you find there, and there's color, obviously in French, Spanish, and English. Um, let's see, crochet hook right here, the size. Sorry, folks, the camera's not adjusting. It says 5.5, believe me. um, and if you were to crochet this a 4 by 4 inch square, you should have 15 rows and 12 single crochet stitches. SC is abbreviation for single crochet. It gives you that in knitting as well. Some general pictorial diagrams for care, temperature. This can be washed. Don't iron it. Otherwise, you might melt it. And that's pretty much it. You can find tables online for how much yardage it tells you to make make things. Like for example, if I were to make a small throw, maybe that's um, maybe that's 1,500 yards I probably need. I'm just going to try to give a roundabout guess. So this is 364, so it tells you about how many you can divide that and get how many skeins. This is called a skein. You'll find yarn typically like this. This is done by a machine that wraps it in a skein. Handmade yarns tend to be in hanks, which actually I don't have an example in front of me to grab you folks, but usually that's wound on a Swift device. Swift, you can just Google that up, and it's always good to have one in your, if you're going to be serious about crochet or even knitting. It's always good to have a Swift. And then it's wound on a Swift. You lift it off of the Swift, and then you fold it over and twist it, and twist it on itself, and it ends up being this twisty looking shape like this. And that's a hank. That's my best way to describe what a hank is without having a picture of it. And also, you will see yarn. Occasionally, smaller yarn manufacturers do wind them into balls for you. They tend to jump away on me, so I like to put them in something like a bag designed for knitting or crocheting yarn to hold everything in there. I think that is it for the label. Usually there is a pull strand side. Here we go here when you buy your red heart, and then obviously nothing on this side. So this is the pull side from the center pull from your skein. Otherwise you have to go in here and go fishing. Go in there and you dig around with your finger and pull the center pull out. That's, I only would recommend really to use center pull. You can try to pull the yarn from the outside that's tucked underneath this label. It's somewhere in there. And some people, if you pull it from the outside, then when you crochet and knit, your skein just bounces everywhere and rolls around everywhere, falls on the ground, gets dirty and dog hair, which is my situation. So I recommend always just using the central pull. And those are my class. If you have any questions, just ask me anytime, any of the sessions that we meet. Not a problem answering questions. So see you next video. Have a good one, folks.